Thank you, Jen. Deputy Speaker, you said you wanted gender. Now let me give the women. Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think when this judgment came out, I remember reading it with a lot of disbelief as a lawyer. And first of all, maybe I can correct Honorable Junet. The court did not say that Azimio is the majority party. So you actually cannot be sitting on that seat. That is going to be determined by the Speaker. As we speak now, that is not the case. So I said, I just wanted to point out a few things here. When I read the judgment, I can say it's conflated, it's convoluted, it is confusing, and it even reveals that there was no laws looked into. For example, the argument that the Speaker cannot be a member of a political party or be a political party leader is flawed. Because first of all, Section 12 of the Political Parties Act prohibits every public officer from getting into a party or in politicking. But in subclause 2, it gives an exemption to the president, the deputy president, members of parliament, members of the county assembly, governors, and deputy governors. And the Speaker is a member of the National Assembly. Article 97 of the Constitution gives the membership of parliament, which includes the Speaker, the substantive Speaker, as an ex-officio member. So even just from looking at that, and that is why I would like my colleagues who are praising the judgment to know that it has very glaring, complete disregard of the law. And that one, you don't need to be a magician. Just read Article 97 of the Constitution and then read Section 12, subsection 2. Also, if you see the way the court has interpreted the law and said that the determination of who is a majority party and minority party is decided by the people at the time of the ballot. Again, that is inaccurate. Kenya is a first-past-the-post electoral system, which means it is individuals who have voted who can enter into a coalition and join parties. And I think they are confusing it with the South African method, because the South Africa has a mixed member proportional representation system. So people are voted in by parties, not as individuals. And so, just looking at that, we need to also ask ourselves in Parliament that how is it that we have a judiciary that does not follow the same laws that they are supposed to apply and interpret? Also, if you look at during the arguments of the case, the judgment itself in the judgment says that they decided to look at other evidence and that they did not have any evidence of who had left the coalition. But at the same breath, in the same judgment, they contradict themselves and point out that the Register of Political Parties provided for them the evidence. And even as we speak now, Honorable Speaker, when you are away is when this judgment came out. And immediately, I instructed the clerk of the National Assembly to write to the Registrar of Political Parties to give us a true position of how the membership is organized. And therefore, I'm requesting that the clerk should be able to give me that letter so that I can table it and let it become part of these proceedings. And then, purely that it will be your decision to make a ruling as to the majority and minority parties as the Speaker. And the courts don't have any power to do it. That's why, even though they nullified your ruling, they did not actually make any declaration because they know that that is a pure mandate of the Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Emmanuel Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to first and foremost seek that you clarify on one or two issues, basically. The issue, Honorable Speaker, to do with among the very many prayers that were cited by the petitioner was the prayer to declare the seat of yourself as being vacant. A situation which you tried to explain, Honorable Speaker, in the beginning, but my take it goes differently, Honorable Speaker. That, Honorable Speaker, We all know Article 106(2) particularly gives us the analysis how you can vacate your office, Honorable Speaker. But in this case, Honorable Speaker, the court appears to be following the petitioner who is chasing on the wild goose to understand, Honorable Speaker, how you can release because of your party affiliation. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I'll be seeking that you clarify in your ruling on whether how the court has come up with this decision, on whether this is in order, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, number 2 on the prayers requested is about the Article 103, as it appears together with the Political Parties Act, particularly Section 14, Honorable Speaker, which puts you to, which Honorable Speaker, the petitioner wanted to understand whether by virtue of our association, a member can exit a political party or a coalition. But Honorable Speaker, the ruling has not appeared to me to satisfactorily respond to it. Therefore, I'll be seeking, Honorable Speaker, that you clarify whether it is true that there is another way other than writing to the registered political party to respond to confirm that I am or I belong to a particular coalition or a particular party. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, those are my 2 issues. I would wish that you clarify as you make your ruling.
Thank you. Kaluma.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the High Court has made this decision pursuant to Article 165 of the Constitution. Yes. And Honorable Speaker, that power gives the High Court original jurisdiction over matters concerning questions of interpretation of the Constitution. But Honorable Speaker, we must be alive to the fact that the High Court only exercises original jurisdiction. This matter most likely will go to the Court of Appeal under Article 164, and ultimately, Honorable Speaker, to the Supreme Court under Article 163, because it is a matter concerning constitutional interpretation. And Honorable Speaker, I therefore want to say that you may be in your right place to make a decision on this matter, but I request you have regard to the provisions of Article 10, Sub-Article 2, as you communicate your position to guide us in terms of how to proceed. Honorable Speaker, having said so, as you make your decision, I wanted to request that you help us understand and resolve the following matters. Number 1, Honorable Speaker, what members are asking is the determination of which party is majority or minority in Parliament a de jure determination, or it is a de facto? Is it based on law, or it sits on existing facts? And Honorable Speaker, may your communication clarify that. I'm asking Honorable Speaker, together with the honorable members, that is it a decision to be made at once at elections and then it remains static, or it is capable of change due to the possibility of post-election coalitions? Honorable Speaker, we've seen this in Israel, we've seen this in Germany. What happens if it is static, and at once, if these parties like UDM, the parties like MDG, the parties that were to move from Azimio, were to actually effectively, successfully, and lawfully move from Azimio and join Kenya Kwanza, how would that position sit with the judgment? Honorable Speaker, I'm also asking you to clarify that if the determination is static, then Honorable Speaker, how does the judgment sit with the provisions of Article 36 of the Constitution? And Honorable Speaker, as you make your determination, I wanted to
give him 1 minute.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, would you look, when you decide, at the provisions of Standing Order number 178, subsection 2, as read with Standing Order 174, subsection 2A. Honorable Speaker, what I'm asking, to what extent does this decision affect leadership of oversight committees like PAC, PIC, or asked differently, can the members of the parties which the judgment has said did not move from Azimio seek to chair those oversight committees and members who are independent? And to what extent would it affect our side? Lastly, Honorable Speaker, on the matter concerning the sitting of the Speaker, I would request that you look at the provisions of Article 106, Sub-Article 2. But lastly, Honorable Speaker, as a supporter of broad-based government, allow me only to say this. Honorable Speaker, it is very painful when supporters of broad-based government are traveling like to Mombasa and they go to economy and you find Gakuya wa Muchomba sitting on business class because they're chairs of committee. We want reorganization that ensures equity in the broad-based system. And that is why I would agree that whatever decision you make, we must be equally integrated as a broad-based government in a presidential system. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.